The learning curve for swimming is this. The learning curve for scuba diving is this. We can take someone with a disability and within 15, 20 minutes have them moving underwater independently. Yes, we have to control their buoyancy a little bit, but what happens then is they're a scuba diver. So now it's Johnny in the wheelchair becomes Johnny the scuba diver, and he's empowered. He believes he can do additional things in life. He takes on new challenges, and that's what diving does for people with disabilities.
To most people, this looks like any other bus stop in Southern California. But to Alex and Julie Calvo, it was the path less taken on their road to an unknown future.
We remember seeing each other for the first time on the bus in Long Beach, and we met at the Long Beach VA hospital. I was a therapist, Alex is a disabled veteran.
After a few months, I went to seek some equipment, and she was there, and I remember her from the bus ride, and I went, "Ah, you work here." In 1995, I fell from a 4-story building in Puerto Rico, and I did 2 years in the VA in a rehab center, and I didn't have a place to go. I'm from a very small family. I only have one brother. My dad was old, didn't have a place to stay. My mom passed away years ago. So I was just about to be referred to the nursing home at 26, so I started making calls around in all the VA centers, and I found a program in Long Beach VA, and they said that they could help me out for a year if I just were to move out here and see what happens. So I moved out here, and for a year I had a chance for like cheaper rent and going to school, and I had to prove myself, and that was 15 years ago. I was angry the first couple of years, but when I got here, life got better little by little, and then I understood that, there's no way about it. I am who I am. And by the time I met her, I was not that bad, but I still have my anger issues, and she's taught me that it's okay, that life doesn't stop because I can't stand up. And we do everything. We do more than most couples that we know do. Like, they actually complain, like, "Are you guys going where to do what?" And we're like, "Sorry, we gotta go."
Being that the couple is very active and adventuresome, scuba diving seemed to be a natural fit. Julie Calvo.
Alex's first time back in the pool after his injury was in Aspen at the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic, and he just loved the freedom of moving around in the water. And a week after we returned back home, coincidentally, the director of the Disabled Veterans Scuba Project approached Alex, inviting him to participate in the scuba class. It was kind of like fate there. And we both were able to participate in that class. And I went on to get my certification, and Alex did his coursework and passed the test, and then our instructor from that class referred us to this trip here in Cozumel with DiveHeart. Alex is a bit more adventurous than when we first met. He was, I guess, always a little reluctant to participate in any adaptive sports. He just didn't really believe in adaptive sports for, I don't know what reason, but
I just thought that the amount of work it took for me to go skiing, like, why are people doing that? But now I understand that people like to help. Like, before that, I was like, it takes 4 to 1 for me to go skiing or scuba or this and that. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother people. But now that you get into it, you go like, I'm not bothering people. People are actually growing with us at the same time. So once you get through the first couple of experiences, These people are here because they want to be here. No one's paying them. No one's telling them to be there. They just want to be there.
To see Alex and Julie in the water together and holding hands and the smiles. His mask kept leaking because he was smiling so much, and he's doing front flips in the water. He's loving it. And this is a guy who spends most all of his day in a chair, and he's out there doing acrobats. And to see the smiles on his face is just, there's not a word to describe that.
According to Jim Elliott, founder of DiveHeart, this type of activity has benefits far beyond the activity itself.
The thing about scuba diving is we have the franchise on zero gravity. So an individual with a disability who is a slave to gravity on land and can't do certain things, now underwater has the opportunity to be completely weightless. Zero gravity. This is a great opportunity to do physical therapy in a zero gravity environment. And that's what we found DiveHeart is. It's not just a feel-good thing. It's not just building confidence, independence, and self-esteem, but it's actually a therapy. So now it's inherently hyperbaric, so individuals go down, they feel pressure. That's why kids with autism have such an incredible response to this, almost immediately on every pool session. What we can do is give an individual oxygen therapy, hyperbaric therapy, and physical therapy in a zero gravity environment. Now that's very powerful, and we're at a point where this is just starting, and when we start doing research and looking at outcomes, I think we're going to blow the doors off of what's out there for people with disabilities and rehabilitation.
The proof, however, is in the results, and according to Alex and Julie, they are nothing short of miraculous.
Alex has pain all the time, 100% of the time in his left shoulder, and that's the only time since I've known him that he says he's pain-free in the water.
Yeah, the second day that I got out of the water, I had not only not any pain, but I felt stronger in both my arms. And we talked about it later on that day, saying maybe we should get, not in the ocean in Long Beach, but in the pool with a tank and do a few laps every couple of times a week, because it totally strengthened my shoulder within 2 dives. But we're definitely doing it because it is therapeutically beneficial, and we just get to have fun in the water.
The best thing I saw in the water is Alex swimming and moving around and moving his arms more than I ever see on land, and just having more of a sense of freedom. It's the best thing I saw this week.
What may be even more important is the effect scuba diving has on the entire spectrum of the couple's lives, alone and together.
I remember growing up watching fish go by me and just jumping in the warm water, and I think once I had my accident, I thought, like, if anything, that would be unattainable. And in this trip, I've seen turtles, I've seen fishes, and I've had the opportunity to regain what I've lost during my childhood, which is awesome. It just brings me back, and it just opens up just a chapter in my life that I not missed, but I kind of neglected because of my disability. But now it's open, so it's huge.
We all know that life can be cruel, but if your heart is big enough, there's always a path to a better place.
We've been in precarious situations many times, and I've always trusted her with my life, but being 60 feet down, I needed help, and she doing it without me asking because I can't talk underwater. Like, it kind of reassured me that she knows who I am. Like, she just looked at my eyes and went and decompressed. Like, she was just around me the first day. So that opens up, but it just reassures me that I know who I am and I know who she is and who we are together. I love you, baby.
I love you.